Southeast Asia countries have shifted from agricultural to industrial and service economies. While this growth raises carbon dioxide emissions, energy efficiency and low-carbon technologies offer ways to balance development with sustainability. Despite rising GDP per capita, life expectancy remains uneven. Singapore leads, while Indonesia and the Philippines lag. Within Indonesia, urban centers like Jakarta show much higher life expectancy than rural provinces, reflecting unequal healthcare access and socioeconomic conditions. Our study examines 10 Southeast Asia countries from 2000 to 2023, focusing on GDP per capita, health expenditure, urbanization, and carbon dioxide damage. We ask how these factors shape life expectancy, what policy interventions can be derived, and whether our Fixed Effects LSDV model captures regional diversity and disparities. We aim to analyze these combined effects, provide evidence-based recommendations, and identify the most significant determinants of life expectancy, supporting sustainable and equitable development across Southeast Asia.
The time series trend shows that life expectancy across Southeast Asia countries has steadily increased over the past 2 decades. Thus, the pace of progress varies widely. Singapore and Malaysia maintain high and stable level, while Cambodia, Laos, PDR, and Myanmar show slower, more volatile improvements. This contrast reflects difference in socio-economic development and healthcare capacity across the region. The scatter plot between health expenditure and life expectancy shows a weak and slightly negative correlation, with R is negative 0.17. Although this seems counterintuitive, it highlights Southeast Asia economic diversity. Wealthier countries may spend more due to higher costs, while lower-income countries spend less despite greater health needs. As a result, the overall correlation hides country-specific dynamics. When comparing CO2 damage and life expectancy, the correlation is nearly zero, with R is 0.02, indicating little direct link. Yet this neutrality may mask complex interaction. Nations with higher CO2 damage often experience rapid industrialization, which can still improve health outcomes through better infrastructure and healthcare access. The correlation heat map shows strong positive links between life expectancy and economic indicators like GDP and urbanization, while health expenditure and CO2 damage remain weakly related. This suggests that economic strength plays a dominant role in shaping health outcomes. Thus, environmental and health factors likely operate differently across countries and time. Overall, the exploratory analysis indicates that relationships among economic, environmental, and health indicators in Southeast Asia are neither linear nor uniform. The weak and mixed correlations imply that life expectancy is shaped by country-specific and time-dependent factors.
The two-way effects test shows both country and time effects are statistically significant. In short, life expectancy in Southeast Asia is shaped by country-specific traits, institutions, health systems, infrastructure, and by temporal factors like crisis, reforms, and technological change. To capture both dimensions, we apply the Fixed Effects LSDV model. LSDV explicitly includes dummy intercepts for each country and each year, so we can see how nations and periods deviate from the regional average. This approach keeps country and year effects visible, which is especially useful for policy interpretation. The model fits very well, R-square 0.97 and adjusted R-square 0.96. Looking at estimated coefficients and noting, we focus on effect size rather than hypothesis tests. Carbon dioxide damage has the largest positive estimate that suggests industrialized countries, despite higher emissions, often have stronger health system and infrastructure that raise life expectancy. Urban population shows a substantial positive estimate, indicating that urbanization via better access to services and health facilities contributes meaningfully to longer lives. Health expenditure is positive too, confirming the practical importance of spending on health. GDP per capita contributes little and may be small or negative, implying growth alone doesn't guarantee longer lives without inclusive policies. Country fixed effects reveal Singapore and Malaysia well above average, while Myanmar, Laos, and Timor-Leste remain below. Year fixed effect shows a general trend of increasing life expectancy in Southeast Asia over the past 20 years. It declined in 2020 to 2021 caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, then rose again in 2022 to 2023. Practically, this illustrates the temporary shock caused by the pandemic, followed by a post-pandemic recovery. Policy takeaways: treat health spending as investment, make urban growth inclusive with accessible health services, align industrial development with sustainability, and strengthen Southeast Asia cooperation in health data and shared technology. Ultimately, it is not growth speed, but how growth is converted into equitable health gains that will shape Southeast Asia future longevity.